First name Charity, last name Barton, and today I am going to be giving you guys two videos. So the first video is going to be about my new business. So I have decided that I want to teach Spanish, or excuse me, tutor Spanish. And so my tutoring business is now called CBO, Spanish Tutoring Services. So CBO just stands for Charity Barton Original, or CB Original, just like my YouTube channel. And I'm really excited about this new endeavor. I think it's going to be great for me. I think it's perfect. In fact, I studied abroad in Spain. I was there for a semester, my fall semester, and I graduated from the University of Tulsa. I am an alum now, or an alumna now. And so this is my stole that I wore on graduation day, or I guess one of my stoles that I wore. And so I really do love the culture, and I have some of the experience to prove it. And so I am really excited to be able to have the opportunity to tutor kids, and not only kids, but even adults or students who are going back to college or high school. I will be able to help you guys as long as you're level 1 or 2. So, why should you learn a second language? Well, I'm going to give you some statistics because that is my channel. It is CB Original, being original, not a statistic. And so I'm going to give you some stats so that way you can know the facts and know what you're up against. Did you know that 20% of Americans have the ability to speak more than one language? Did you also know that roughly 215 million people can only speak English? That's from ages 4 to, I believe, 80. 80% of our population can only speak English. That's insane. That's insane. Okay, we move into the perception of language and the perception of language use. Did you know that 20% of Americans think that they should be speaking a second language, or that second language is an important skill to have? Now, 50% of Americans believe, I'm going to take this off, it's a little hot. 50% of Americans believe that it is essential, that learning a second language is essential, it's an essential skill, but it's not necessarily important for the day-to-day life. 30% of Americans do not believe that it is important or important at all to speak a second language. So with that being said, I think it's important to know that we're moving towards a global society. For all of you parents out there, and for you students, and even some adults, we're moving towards a more global society with social media and the way the internet is heading. We're becoming a smaller nation and a smaller world, and we're more apt to be able to experience and connect with people from all around the world. And so with that being said, don't you want to be able to speak another language so that way you can relate more deeply with another culture? When I studied abroad, I was studying abroad in Spain, and I spent time there. And then, like I said, I just took a trip to France. What's that video going to be about? The second one. So I just took a trip to France, and so I have two different experiences with how language helps me, how second language helps me. And so being in Spain, I was able to enhance my Spanish. It became something that was second nature, where I just, oh, that's in Spanish, cool, let's read this, So I was always on it. I was always ready to translate. I was always ready to speak it. And with that, I had so many cool experiences. I met so many cool people. When I went to France, I didn't know, I don't speak French. And so not knowing the language, I was like, wow, I truly felt like an American. I just had two experiences, and I would have preferred to have learned more French before I went to France. And so my question to you is, which experience do you want to have? The one where you feel sort of out of place, out of like fish out of water, but you're still having fun, or that immersed sort of experience where you know the language, and so now you're getting to know the culture and you're having the time of your life. And just know that it's so important to me to learn a second language. I've always been an advocate for learning a second language or a third language, so just know that you'll have the best of me, but you will have homework. You needed upwards of 120 hours in order to be at the beginner level. The beginner level just means that you're able to use basic words and expressions. You're not able to make sentences, and then you're also able to have an understanding for basic vocabulary. So If we're meeting once a week, that's 1 hour. You're gonna need to have 120 hours with me in order for you to reach that basic beginner level. So you have to have homework, which is why everyone's like, oh, that's why I get so much homework in language classes. That's exactly why. You have to spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day with learning a second language. You have to, especially at the beginning stage, and actually even as you continue to advance, but definitely at the beginning stages. With that being said, I am looking forward to tutor you and to tutor your kids as we move towards learning a second language. So, follow my Facebook page for more information and also to get in contact with me. That is facebook.com/CBO Spanish. That is CBO Spanish. And send me a message and I'll get you started. And you can also subscribe to my channel because being original, now statistic. Goodbye.